Hey, welcome back to Your Own University TV. My name is Lisha Antica, and today we're going to talk about what sets you apart from everybody else in the world. Specifically, how you might handle these two little words that are often misunderstood. And I know that at least, at the very least, 1 in 10 of us are affected by these things, right? Have to walk and journey in our own lives, in our own school of learning through these things. And it's victimhood and survivor. We're going to talk about victim, survivor, and their mentalities in this video, and I'm going to bust some myths because it's my specialty. So yes, I am the founder of Your Own University, about all things you, related to you, and how to live your best, most masterful life, taking care of yourself and playing your best game, living your purpose. However, in my private practice, I'm known as the trauma transformer. And when it comes to our coaching certification, as well as our yoga certification at Your Own University, it's really based on helping people put their pieces of their lives back together and bust through old programming. So one thing that I hear over and over again from survivors is that they don't want to be a victim, right? That they're survivors, they're not a victim, they're survivors. And I remember going through this transition. I literally remember sitting at a coffee shop in Boulder called Penny Lane, and I was sitting there and I remember journaling, like, I am a survivor, I'm no longer a victim, right? And coming to that realization in my late teens. So there is survivor, but in survivor mentality, what we do is we focus on what we're surviving. We have our senses up like this all the time, and our empathic skills are on high alert constantly. And we create things because we are living creators, and we're not usually consciously creating these things. It's run in our subconscious and unconscious brain that actually house the drama and the trauma that we had to watch, experience, or go through and actually survive. So today I'm going to break down these things, and hopefully if you've been in the cycle of abuse, if you've been affected by any traumatic event in your life or any abuse in your life, especially when you were a child and they're really in the subconscious, unconscious brain, you're going to break some paradigms and we're going to transform your life today. That is my intention with this video. So the first thing is victim. Victim gets such a bad name, right? I remember saying I was victimized one time in a group setting, and a woman totally went off on, you are not a victim, you are a survivor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, right? And that actually dove me into this study in a deeper way, but it also really put me back, because I'm like, if I'm not a victim, then what am I, right? Because if you were victimized, meaning something happened to you that was out of your control, that you didn't have the tools to cope with, something was stolen from you, something was taken from you, something was hurt on you, right? If you were a victim in a car crash, you didn't cause the crash. If you were a victim of abuse, you didn't cause the abuse. If you were victimized by something, right? So if you are victimized by something, you are victimized. And pretty much after you've been victimized, the situation, you become a survivor. And when you become a survivor, you join this mentality. And often the mentality is called victim mentality. And there's a few phases to victim mentality, and I definitely go deeper into it in my Facebook group called Me Too, Women Ending the Cycle of Abuse. And for my men, it is called Men Matter. Okay, those are two groups that I run, one for women, one for men, that I talk about subjects like this, right? Because we need to talk about it in order to really shift the dynamic of how we relate to being a victim survivor, and so we can get through through these stages of survivor, come back into your core, which is you are a creator being, right? Living your life, creating your highest potential. And also then we move into thriving in our lifestyle, thriving in our lives. And I truly believe that there is a cycle to this as well. So let's get back to survivor, okay, and the first phase of survivorhood, which is victim mentality. So victim mentality is trying to validate that you've been victimized. And why this is so freaking hard, excuse my language, is because victimhood is like, no, you're not, you're a survivor. No, you're not, you weren't victimized. It wasn't your fault, right? And it's like, yeah, it wasn't our fault. And yes, we were victimized. And don't be mad. Forgiveness, especially if you're on a spiritual journey. And this is friggin' baloney. It's really baloney. So the first thing I want to do for you today is, if you've been victimized, place your hands on your heart. Whatever age you were victimized, multiple ages you were victimized, I just invite you to just breathe into that and validate for yourself that you were a victim of a victimization. Period. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to go to court and battle it out. Nobody else needs to even be involved in it. Doesn't matter what it was. Nobody else has to believe you. In your heart of hearts, in your soul of souls, you know that you have been struggling to cope and overcome something for a number of years. You are validated. You validate you. From this place of total acceptance, we actually step out of victim mentality and into survivor mentality. So victim mentality, you are proving that you're a victim. You feel victimized. You are looking for where you were victimized next. You are still in the victimization. It just keeps cycling and cycling and cycling. So say that you get from one relationship that was really, really bad into the next one, right? One abusive relationship into the next one. Say that you get from one car crash and then you gain 10 pounds and then you develop an autoimmune disease and then you get a divorce, like, right? So it's like this continual victimization because the vibration of victim has not been validated. So today, validate that victimization. Then survivor mentality. So survivor mentality is more powerful. You are able to take responsibility for your life a little bit better. You no longer have to prove your victimization. You are more curious about how you can take responsibility for your life. However, survivor mentality keeps creating little things and bigger things to survive, to prove that you are strong enough, that you are able, that you can take care of yourself, that you're not going to be victimized again, or that you can handle it and cope with it better. It's kind of like when you learn how to walk, right? And at first the babies like stumble and stumble and stumble, but they keep getting up and stumbling and stumbling. It's like stumbling from victim mentality or victimhood into like just really being that creator being in your life again. However, the mindset of the victimization is still in place. So you're still proving that you're strong, that you're able, that you're capable, that you can stand in your own power. Except these tests of limitations is what I call them. Tests of limitation keep coming up from your spirit, I believe, and saying, but do you really trust yourself? Do you really trust this? So you get to still have your alert on. So survivor mode, people are doing pretty well, but you might have money issues, you might have health issues, you might have some chronic issues that just keep coming up. You're happy, but not all that happy. There's not enough time and not enough money, and things aren't just enough. You're not enough, nothing's enough. That's survivor mentality. The next is creator mentality. Now I'll get into that in the next video. And we'll talk about creator mentality and we'll talk about thriving mentality. And I will share with you more, if you want to know more, about an upcoming group course that I have running. It's a private group for the Amazing Me program. And so you can learn more about that in my Facebook group. So go to Facebook or message me if you're not in a Facebook group and I can just tell you about it. But if you can, go to the Facebook group because I have a free training going on right now. And the Facebook group again is Me Too, Women Ending the Cycle of Abuse. Or in a few weeks, I'll start the training for men. And the group there is Men Matter, right there on Facebook. So I hope to talk to you soon. Check us out at yourownuniversity.com. Give me a thumbs up. Share this with a friend. 1 in 10 of us are survivors of something, some abuse, that we get stuck in that cycle. And it is my honor to help you in that cycle and step into your creator, thriver, yes, life.
Join us at Your Own University. Like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. You're not going to want to miss a bit of this.